Family, it's Providence, and I'm sure you've heard by now, Diddy has gotten 3 counts, Fed charges by a grand jury who decided to indict him, and he is currently locked up in jail. Diddy was always talking about bad boy for life, but it's looking like his bad boy gets life, and it's been made known that his bail has been denied, so he's going to be staying in jail until trial, or unless his lawyer can finesse something, but we don't know how that's going to go. He's got 3 counts. Count 1, a racketeering conspiracy, where the indictment literally says Combs relied on the employees, resources, and influence of a multifaceted business empire that he led and controlled, creating a criminal enterprise whose members and associates engaged in and attempted to engage in, among other crimes, sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. Count 2, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion. And count 3, transportation to engage in prostitution. So we see here they've got him on racketeering and sex trafficking charges. Now, up until this point, Diddy had been facing civil lawsuits. We all know that he was sued by Cassie, which kind of started this whole thing, and I have no doubt that Cassie is working with the feds. She had alleged years of physical abuse, mental, emotional abuse, sexual trafficking. That also opened up the floodgates to other people filing their own lawsuits. And recently we heard singer Dawn Richard, who also filed her own lawsuit, claiming that Diddy physically, sexually, and emotionally abused her as well. She said that she saw Diddy abuse Cassie, but up until this point, these had all been civil lawsuits. Now he's actually facing real jail time. Ladies and gentlemen, the chickens have come home to roost. If you're not familiar with that saying, it basically means the consequences of one's actions have come back to haunt them. And it's the industry's best kept secret that Diddy has been a pretty terrible guy for a long time. Allegations of physical abuse, violence, allegations of sexual deviancy. It's nothing new. I mean, we saw a few months now ago the video that dropped of Diddy beating Cassie in a hotel. We saw it clear as day what domestic violence looked like in that relationship. We've heard stories about Kim Porter, who is the mother of a few of Diddy's children, how he used to beat her. That's been well documented. Other women have come out and said that. We've even heard of Diddy engaging in violent acts towards men. He's had altercations with Drake and altercations with J. Cole. He threw a kettlebell at his son's football coach. And a lot of this is going back for decades, even all the way back to the whole Biggie versus Tupac, where allegedly he put the hit out on Tupac. And Keefe D, who is also locked up in that situation, has come out and said that. And I don't know if they're gonna tie that case in with this case. I don't think that there's ever gonna be any proof really that he put the hit on Pac, but that's the word in the streets. So Diddy has been a violent man. I mean, we've even heard that he blew up the car of Kid Cudi because Kid Cudi was talking to Cassie. So there's all of these documented stories about Diddy. And if you behave in this manner, eventually you abusing people, oppressing people, treating people like trash. I mean, all of his former bad boy artists testify that he treated them like trash. He's a master manipulator. That comes back to haunt you. So the chickens have come home to roost. It's only so long you can get away with certain things. God don't like ugly. What's done in the dark will come to the light. And now he's been exposed. Really and truly, when you have money and you have power like Diddy has, you're able to get away with a lot of things. I'm sure Diddy was able to assemble around himself a lot of yes men that basically acquiesced to whatever he wanted to do. He was able to pay people to probably look the other way. They mentioned bribery in this indictment. And so I'm not gonna blame money and power, because if you're a terrible person, you're just a terrible person. Money and power and resources allow the corruption that's inside the hearts of a lot of people to come out. The status, the money, the power, it gets to your head. It exacerbates the evil that's in your heart, because your pride tells you, I can do whatever I want, and I can pay people off. I can hire a bunch of yes men. I can hire a bunch of people that will turn the other way. I can manipulate people by making them promises. People want to get closer to me because of my wealth, and I know how to manipulate that. And Diddy did that for years. And so he did that in order so that he could follow through with his sick and twisted fantasies and do basically whatever he wanted to people, because I guess that's what made him feel significant. Money and power leads to a God complex. It leads to people feeling like they basically can do whatever they want to people without any consequences. It's not to say that money is inherently bad. It's not to say that power is inherently bad, but money and power in the hands of people who lack self-control, lack discipline, are greedy, are self-seeking, selfish people, yes, it can lead to twisted behavior. And Diddy fell victim to, I think, his own success. He probably should have been checked into a mental health institution a long time ago, because it's clear that man needed help. But people rarely take inventory of their own mental and emotional health until it's too late. He decided that he was going to go down the path of abuse, manipulation, taking advantage of people, and he felt like nothing could stop him from doing that. And now he's got to face the consequences, and he's most likely finished out here in these streets. And I think that this should serve as a lesson for all of us. I mean, yes, none of us will ever probably be as rich or as powerful as Diddy, but that doesn't mean that we can't mess up our lives on a much smaller scale or even find ourselves in legal trouble. We have to live self-controlled lives. We have to take inventory of our own mental health. If you see yourself having anger problems, if you're involved in some sort of domestic violence or violence like Diddy, listen, get help. Get help before you are on your way to jail, right? Like, have people in your life that can actually speak to you and tell you the truth about how you're behaving. Don't look to push everybody away that can actually speak truth to you, right? Because when you're doing something wrong, it needs to be nipped in the bud. If Diddy would have had people in his life telling him, look, bro, the way you're treating Kim is wrong, the way you're treating Cassie is wrong, what happens? He could probably have stopped a lot of the behavior that has him in the mess that he's in right now. So we have to also take inventory of our own lives. And again, none of us will probably be facing any sort of racketeering charges or anything like that, but you can still go to jail for life because you ended up doing something stupid. So I think that we look at examples of people who shipwreck their lives, and we should take inventory of our own lives to not end up like that, man. So we're gonna be obviously following the trial. We're gonna see what ends up happening to this dude, but in all likelihood, he's facing a minimum of 15 years, and that'll be the outcome. And I don't know what TD Jakes was teaching this dude, but he should have been teaching this dude that God don't like ugly, and God's judgment will come upon you if you mistreat people. God's wrath will be on you. And so listen, he is right now, as far as I'm concerned, under God's judgment for the life that he has lived and the way he has treated people. So anyway, if you like the video, please like and subscribe. Comment down below your thoughts on this situation. This has been Providence. I will see you guys in the next video.